we didn't really know what we're gonna do for the tank at this point because this was like mid-production. But we knew we were gonna have to have an explosion, and we like doing fireworks stuff. So me, Scott, and Buzz were trying to come up with ideas how to have the culvert explosion. And Buzz had saved some fireworks for 4th of July, and he had like a mortar and lit that off inside, which looked pretty cool. We also had this thing where we're gonna have the smoke kind of come out of the culvert like that, and then I was gonna speed it up later, change the color of it so it looked like kind of like a fireball. And I don't think that didn't really make it in. And these mortars actually look pretty cool, but it just didn't make it into the movie. But now you get to see it. So anyway, so this was kind of an experience doing something like this.
Is it still spraying any?
It's coming.
Is it even pouring out like it was before?
It was seriously like...
What? That's a vacuum.
What's going on? Is it going back in? It is.
We actually shot the scene that went along with that twice. Nate was shooting this version of it, and ultimately in the editing room, I wasn't feeling any suspense, or and then you got like zoom out. There's the fireball effect I was talking about, but we ended up reshooting it. And then I went home and did some special effects with the tank. It's Solace, my daughter, helped me with that. To have the cannon move on top, we tied a string to it, which is not really visible to the camera, and then you pull the string, and it worked out right.
This?
Yeah. Now say hi to the camera. Say hi. Sauce. Look at the camera and say hi.
Hi.
To get the tank to kind of fall down into a pit, I just put the green screen on a chair and pushed it over.
Alright, Sauce, I'm going to do down for a second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Kawaii.
I also needed an element of a trooper to be on the tank, and I didn't have a mask with me at the time, and I knew it would be a faraway shot, so I just put my head over my head. So, basically the original footage that we shot had me and Buzz. We were the only ones here on set when we were doing this stuff, so we would just kind of walk down, and then I'd copy the troopers. I'd I actually ended up redoing the tank stuff because I didn't get the right angle, the right perspective from the background shot that we got, the plate, so I ended up going back and doing some of it by myself, which made the other stuff pointless. But I didn't need anybody pulling the string this time because I just tied the string to something in the room, and since I was pushing the tank forward, the cannon moved by itself basically because it was being pulled away from where the string was tied. I also had to do the path map so you could have some shrubbery and bushes kind of over the tanks, so it looked like it was more inside of the setting, I guess you could say. It's not like totally good looking, but I'm one person, what do you expect? So there's my trooper giving hand signals that don't exist, and I threw him on top, and basically I could just copy the motion and have those things line up with each other. There's a lot of time I was having to go frame by frame trying to match move things too, but just had to get things right. So I ended up slowing the tank down in slow motion, so it also gave it kind of a heavier feeling. Just added more and more smoke to cover those tire track things. Not sure why I split the shot in two. I know there was some reason for it. Must have been important. I can't remember why though. So I ended that crater shot from an image I had. An explosion, had the falling tank. What's funny is when I was doing the visual effects, there's kind of shots here that you get to see more of what actually happens to the tank, and in the final product that ends up in the movie, you don't really see a whole lot because, well, I figured C4 kind of just messes things up, and you can see right there I went And I was like, well, you really probably wouldn't be able to see. There'd be a big cloud of smoke. So that's kind of how things ended up. Is it better? I don't know. I just trying to go for more realistic, I think. So those are the images I put together there to have a back shot of the tank going into the ground. I was just trying, whatever shot I could think of that I could maybe achieve, and then, like the helicopter stuff, if it worked, then keep it, and if it didn't, get rid of it. You could see that a perspective on the tank, how my first shoot with the tank, and then later. So I had to do special effects with I tried doing special effects with a tank that didn't even match right. Like it was driving on its side or something. And I went through the special effects and then realized it's not going to work. Actually, it was Buzz that pointed that out, that the perspective wasn't right, so I ended up reshooting it, even though it was a big pain. But, I don't know. We ended up zooming up a lot on that shot, too, from what the actual camera was capturing. But, yeah, I think it turned out alright. I'm not really too pleased with the smoke that I ended up adding. Something seems wrong with it to me. I think it's towards the bottom, maybe, I don't know. Just added a lot of ambient smoke to cover a lot of mistakes. The live action tank we shot here, or Buzz and Scott shot in Redmond area, and that was used for a couple of shots.
Cover the non-moving wheels. Have a good time with that, buddy. He would, there's not much you can do with that shit. You could put a boulder in front of the car.
Yeah, they tried to get some plates for me to use, and I think I was able to paste them together right there. The tower of the background's added.
There's a couple of tank shots that I helped IME with. I came in as a contractor and was hired out to do this work, and was able to find some 3D models, and actually found a tank that turned, and I think we wound up using that in a couple of shots. In one shot, we used it in a half a shot.
Now!
Clear.
Tank! Go! Tank! Go!
You can see that we added try to keep it pretty still, and then Nate added the camera shake later, so you can kind of see the difference there.
I wasn't sure what was actually going to be in certain shots. At some point, I kind of just shot the scene, and I didn't know if we were going to cut to an extra shot with the tank, or if the tank would actually end up being applied to the shot that we had shot. So I just wasn't sure. But that's one of those scenes where editing just really sells what needs to happen in that scene. Yeah, there's an effect, and the tank got added, and it works out pretty well. It fires, and you get to see the shot kind of coming across. And tank!
The problem was the camera was moving up and down like really, really fast, because a tank is shooting at you, so of course it's going to be dramatic. And so to try and get the software to calculate that movement and keep this tank still was nearly impossible. So again, IME stepped in and really didn't do anything.
We ended up getting a wide shot without any camera shake, so we could do the special effects better. That's me on the right, on the bottom, playing the dead trooper, so I could spray Scott in the face. That's how I kind of hid the fire extinguisher for that shot. Then I got some stuff. I didn't like Nate's all CGA model of a tank that he got, and so I kind of wanted like a real tank at the bottom.
What are we doing?
Split it in half, and he used the cannon from the CGA tank that turns, and then we have the still frame photo of the tank.
Oh, look at there's no bottom on the tank. Let's put some bottoms on him.
Okay.
And we also said we wanted to put a guy inside the top of the tank to add more realism, so in Nate's room, we had a costume. I just stood in front of the green screen, turned my body, and that kind of Nate tracked it on there.
With the editing, it just really sells because then you've got like a rock bouncing and it's hitting, Eric's helmet in the scene, and it's just like, whoa! You totally buy it, especially when you got like this real. Wait a minute, the rock hitting the helmet wasn't even real either. So I'm just completely sold on that sequence. So that was a digital rock, wasn't it? Hitting the helmet. We had a fake, or we had a little rock hitting your helmet, right? And you digitally added a bigger one. I don't even know how the effects were done, so I'm just amazed because it just looks real to me. That whole editing together, you just buy it. Helicopter.
Oh damn. Oh, that one's too bulky, I think.
Yeah. Want to try, Scott?
May as well.
This shot was basically composited
Okay, stand there, Scott.
of rocks being thrown. I thought it was going to be just one rock, but I might have added a couple. I can't remember. And then just added me to the shot. Use whatever rock that looked closest to my face of where I was going to be. And then Nate had his camera one time, and we're trying to see any forced perspective shots we could get with the model tank. But here, I'm just standing in the background on the dirt hill, acting it out, and the tank's right by the camera.
They turned out better than I anticipated. Again, obviously, anything that you look at now, you wish you could have done differently, or you think you could have done better. But I think for the, we could have had a real tank. That would have been nice. But obviously, we can't. I mean, how are you gonna get a tank? I guess you could airlift it in. But yeah, it turned out. It turned out okay.